Kabam Respond to the Backlash of the Cyber Weekend, Thronebreaker Summoner Sigil buff, and a Mega Red Deathfield bug update. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show for Monday. Did you have a nice weekend? Were you utterly disappointed with the Cyber Weekend deals? Well, here we go. I just want to give you a little bit of, positive news or kind of like heartwarming news. Something nice to start your week off. So for a lot of you that do ask about Frank, and many people do, I should be running a little clip over there, which is just him going into hibernation. If anybody's curious what's happened with Frank, he goes into a hibernation cycle. He didn't hibernate last year, so this year he's gone into a hibernation cycle, which is good. He needs it, and he'll be out in about 3 to 4 months, which I think with all the stuff going on in 2020, it would be nice to hibernate, but you know, just a little update for you. But also in this video, we'll be talking about the serious stuff of the Cyber Weekend and the fallout from it, and as well lessons that Kabam have to learn going forward. Also, before going anywhere, please hit the like button, put post notifications on all, and as well support over on Twitch. That's where we do a lot of the live streaming. So yeah, go and check it out tonight. I think we'll try and do some Act 6.3.2 and maybe some other stuff. Shadow base raids. Reminder, shadow base raids, get them done this week before they expire, and also spend in your Joe Fixit store. That's another reminder from me. Also, thank you so much to those that support through the means of Patreon and YouTube membership services. Thank you so much for the support and ongoing support that is. And also over on Twitch, those that do Prime Gaming, as in Prime Gaming subs, Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, whoever does that Amazon Prime and gives me the sub each month, thank you so much. It's free to those that have Amazon Prime. Thank you so much. And those that give tier 1 subs, thank you so much. And all the people that gift subs as well. Very generous of you, and look forward to seeing you tonight in the stream. But now, we got to get down to business. Business starts with a reminder that we've put another edition of the Contest Round podcast, episode 42. This one's very interesting when it goes over my decision of doing Abyss of Legends earlier and using my units over this, as opposed to spending on Cyber Weekend, and whether or not I made a good decision or a bad decision. FYI, turned out to be a really good decision, but more on that in the podcast if you do want to listen and watch. The video link is on YouTube, and the listening links are in SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes podcasts. Now we begin our travels here on the Marvel Contest of Champions news with a Mega Red Deathfield bug. This bug has been here since the start of the month. A lot of players have mentioned about it, but here's the thing. There's been very little information about further updates, except for the reminder that the Kabam team are looking into it. Now, it was a little bit disappointing not to see this bug being addressed in the release notes. If you've seen the release notes, you'll know the bug fixes. In the bug fixes, there's nothing mentioned about this. In Kabam's exhibit saying we weren't able to zero on the resolution for the upcoming update, but the team's still investigating this one and trying on a way to get the issue resolved as soon as possible. So whether or not that will require the next update, so say the January update, or it will be a case that they'll be able to do it mid-update. Because sometimes they're able to tweak certain things without having to do a full update. So yeah, that would be good to find out some more info on when that's going to be resolved. I know there are a lot of players that are interested in a Mega Red, and as well being able to utilize the champion to the best of its ability. Next up, and let's talk about the Thronebreaker Summoner Sigil or Black ISO Market buffs. Now, for a lot of players, the thought process around the Summoner Sigil is that, does this give an unfair advantage? Is this a pay-to-win kind of improvement option? Is it worth the money as well? That's another thing. I have done a video where we kind of looked at whether or not this was somewhat of a improvement to players. And for me, looking at this, you know, at times, I do feel that a lot of the stuff doesn't give you any fair gain, especially because a lot of the stuff falls to RNG. I could go, oh great, I picked up a 5-star featured for 4,000 less shards. But then I could get something completely worthless, and then it's like, well, pointless. Although the featured 5 stars and featured 6 stars have been revamped and improved, so it does give you a better chance to pick up something that's adequate, but at the same time you have to put it down to, again, RNG. Are you going to pick up what you want? Sometimes not. There's some nice conversion stuff, but it's, again, all stuff that falls you down to shards and RNG, rather than saying, okay, well, you get 2 or 3 fully formed tier 2 alphas. You'd probably go, okay, well, that's a bit of an unfair advantage, but I'm not exactly going to get very far with 720 tier 2 alpha catalyst fragments being converted from tier 1 alpha, and as well the conversion of ultimate crystals and prem crystals. So yeah, it's a thing. And I really have strongly been considering whether or not I do renew my Summoner Sigil. But over the weekend there was this message that went into your inboxes. Now on the 7th of December they're putting in this new improvement with the Summoner Sigil. So summoners have reached Conqueror by completing Act 4 will get Tier 4 class Catalyst Crystals. The cost reduced to 2 Tier 4 basic Catalysts, down from 3. So that's good for those that are Conqueror. That allows you to get like a little bit of advantage. I think when it comes to like earlier progression, there is a somewhat of an advantage for players. It's just when you get to the further or kind of the proper end game stuff, they get then kind of going, well, there's some value, but it's not overly incredible. Until they've made these changes, which is for Thronebreaker, you have one 6-star featured hero crystal available in the Black Ice market store for 13,000 6-star hero crystal shards. So it's a saving of 2,000 6-star shards. Ooh! I mean, I'm a bit sarcastic with that, but you know, it's 2,000. It's look, I think there'd probably be more complaints if it was 11,000, but 13,000 is like, I don't know, like. It's still good to have it added in. I do need it. I do need a little reduction, but 2,000 saving, okay. 756-star hero crystal shards available in Black Ice Market for 10k 5-star hero crystal shards. This is the same problem we fall into ISO acquisition. So if you're looking to purchase or get ISO, look, if you're inclined to get dual class crystals, or at least you're somebody that has, I'm talking like huge whales, like massive grinders. If you've got 200 signature champions and you're getting those max signature crystals, then you could be getting 275 6-star shards, and then for the dupe as well. So it's a benefit once a month for that. So unless you get that twice, because I think in the Black Ice market, let's just check. I think you can get that twice. So whether or not and how many times Kabam allow you to limit on that one, because it's the same with like saying here with the 5-star hero crystal shards here for 2,000, 4-star shards. Like you doing that, you get 1,000, back. But will they do that twice? You know, how will they look to rule that and run that? That's going to be an important thing of how they deliver that into the game. If you're new to Cavalier or new to Thronebreaker, whatever the Thronebreaker things will be good. If you're new to Cavalier, like I'm talking like really fresh new, and you have the Summoner Sigil, it could be quite helpful. But I think it's like those early stages really kind of getting you to Uncollected, being that kind of extra little bit there. But that will be down to the Marvel Contest Champions Community Court as to like how you feel this is going to be an advantage to those at Thronebreaker, or do you see they're just falling down to RNG? Do you think that it's unfair? Put it in the comment section down below. Right, now on to our most important story, and that is the Cyber Weekend sales feedback. Now, as you can see, over the weekend, this is blown up. Normally, Kabam have had a very good track record with the Cyber Weekends, but they really did miss the mark, okay? There's some comparison work that's got to be done to the July 4th deals, and the way they presented that versus how they presented this one. We all know a lot of players got screwed over by these deals, especially the unit deals, also with the paying deals, and that may have had a little bit of a damage as to like where they charted. They had a very successful day. Top grossing, I don't know if you can really say YouTube top grossing. I don't know how they worked that out on the day, because it's November 28th. This was Saturday. Friday's a difficult one because I don't think that really kind of charts into what happens. So we could just put it on. We'll put Friday in. You can see, yeah, it's not on there. So I think it doesn't really count until it goes Cyber Weekend, or the kind of the day doesn't really kind of go live, or kind of they don't tally the success until there. So that's iOS. So number 2 to YouTube. When it comes to Android though, this is where, and I'm pretty certain I've put this correctly with the grossing, but you know, maybe there's something else. I'm not looking at the right thing, but it's got down as number 8. But if it's the case, then that's not too great. I don't know if the game's stability on Android is a questionable thing, whether or not people would feel like they wanted to spend money, or it's the case the game is predominantly played on iOS because of the problems that are plaguing players. So yeah, very, very weird on this one. But in any case, where do you start with the issues, the criticism? And it's criticism that is well founded. It's not a case that this is just people just being difficult for the sake of being difficult. there's some stuff that is just not ticking the right boxes. I think the biggest problem comes to head when it looks like Kabam have guessed wrong with what would be applicable for different types of titleages, and as well how they went to serve those that are early Cavaliers versus late Cavaliers. Right, early Cavaliers may be just becoming the Cavalier title to look and grab themselves some tasty deals, to elevate themselves to do things like the next stuff, like doing variants, exploring Act 6, and as well preparing for stuff like Abyss of Legends. Those are key things that players try, or maybe even doing Labyrinth of Legends if they haven't done that just yet. So there's stuff there that are good to then get to that point, but as well for those that are at that endpoint of Cavalier, that they had the difficulty of champion acquisition, the volume of tier 5 class catalyst, and as well selecting them, you were ultimately let down by Cyber Weekend. And if you go to Dan's site, Frontline MCOC, so frontlinemcoc.home.blog, link is in the description, and in particular these July 4th weekend deals, you can largely see where that argument is solidified by the way that deals was separated out. So there was two types of deals. There was ones that looked like they were more 6-star orientated, but as well had the tier 5 class catalyst selectors and notions and crystals in mind, and volumes of which, and then those that were kind of the 5-star stuff. So you had these two kind of like parallel offers, which gave summoners choice of where they were at. At the time for me, I was at the point of 5-star acquisition, having a larger scope of my roster, and as well trying to bring them up to rank 5. That's where I was at the time. It's a very different stage to where I'm at now, but that's the thing. We had choice back on July 4th. What did we not have on Cyber Weekend? Choice of those matters. It looked like the deals had been separated out, that the greater rank ups or the greater awakening, so that these ones on the screen at the moment, it seemed that they were ultimately separated out for different titleages, with the weaker of the ones going to Cavalier and the stronger ones going to Thronebreaker. That superior 5-star bundle, yeah, that's 5-star stuff, but the superior 6-star bundle is one tier 5 15% class catalyst fragment crystal. So in this one, for 10,000 units, you were given the option of, and Cavalier's got an opportunity to grab this, 40% of a tier 5 class catalyst. And that's the thing, it could fall very nicely with those RNGs. And in the Cavalier unit deals, so the paying ones, there was nothing on offer. You guys seen the video, I was utterly speechless then in comparison to what I saw with these Cavalier bundle deals here. So first of all, with the 1,000, there's not even a snifter of a tier 5 class catalyst. Well, there's not normally with about 4,000, well, usually 4,000 units there was something. But when you get to the 10,000 units, and it's like one 5-star rank up gen, one tier 5 basic, 10 tier 2 alpha catalyst, 20,000 6-star shards. I mean, that's all right. 5-star signature stands, yeah, it's just, But those reasons are always put into question when they decide to put out this on the 4th of July and then put out so weaker offers in the Cyber Weekend. So, yeah, it really isn't good. I definitely think Cavalier players were in their right to feel like they were let down by this, because it does feel like it was a letdown. And I don't know where you can go with the logic of saying, right, well, we put out this in July 4th and then put this out in Cyber Weekend. Does this mean that, and this is the other side of things, if you kind of see that a massive jump from those that recently become Cavalier could just literally just jump very quickly over to becoming Thronebreaker, I don't know if that would be a solid argument, especially if it's saying like you would have to have some immensely powerful RNG to then grab yourself a larger amount of tier 5 class catalyst. And whether or not Kabam were trying to save players making that jump from going, okay, I've just become Cavalier, oh, I've had a few tier 5 2% selectors and whatnot over the space of 6 months, and I've got all this content done, but I've only really just become Cavalier. Oh, I've just become Thronebreaker very quickly, just like that. Then I guess that's where the discrepancy is of what Kabam are trying to save. However, though, what was the point of putting the Thronebreaker titleage in? And as well, what was the point of having this as being a tier 3 6-star as the benchmark to then get done? Regardless of the Act 6 completion, that's maybe what it should have been, is Act 6 completion. Or it should have been wait off a little while and do Act 1 Book 2, and it's the completion of that. And then this titleage, this Thronebreaker was a bit further on, as opposed to this feeling like it's like, okay, this is out, this is out, this is out, this is out, and we take it from there. So I don't know. I really don't know. But then that's up to Kabam where their logic lies of how they wanted to present that. And maybe that's something we could get a member of Kabam come on the podcast to explain the way that they kind of thought process around this. Thought process around was the Thronebreaker titleage too early, because it looks like they've backtracked to then stop players making quick gains to then different titleages. But, you know, that's something to solidify in more of a long drawn out argument point rather than me just going, oh, it's this. In any case, Kabam have responded to all this, so that's good in some ways. With Kabam Mike saying, hey guys, I want to thank you all for your feedback. Completely understand where our Cavalier players are coming from today. I'm a Cav player as well, and I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be talking to the team about this so we can learn from it for the future. Thanks again for your constructive feedback. This does read very interestingly, as if you're going like, right, so one side of Kabam is saying we've got to do it this way, another side of Kabam is saying we've got to do it this way. That's going to be the difficult point as to like where the snapback is. Like, look, you can do this, but the players aren't going to be happy. So are we going to roll this out and have people unhappy, or are we going to make this right and roll it out well? And that's going to be the key thing, especially with stuff when it comes to the greater gifting crystals of the gifting event, which is something I'm going to save for a video for tomorrow and looking at that event. The final thing to mention on this is that, yeah, just Kabam went so wrong with this. I don't know where they went wrong from July 4th, which seemed to be like, this was the meta for interesting stuff for the player base. I don't know why they couldn't copy and paste these to where they are now, because it gives players choice. It gives players choice from like different options, even from like a Cavalier option. Keep the same one, or at least amalgamate it in. Give it some of that tier 5 class catalyst in there that allows players to grab stuff, and as well get that Thronebreaker titleage, because a lot of players in Cavalier wanted it. And man, they needed that Nexus in order to guarantee themselves at least one champion to focus on, because that's the thing. And here's the problem, like champion or class Nexuses, which were available for Thronebreaker, weren't available for Cavalier. And here's the thing. Cavalier players needed that more. They needed more of an acquisition of a certain champion of a specific class that they may have had a tier 5 class catalyst for that weren't able to focus on. So yeah, lots went wrong. And as well, no tier 5 basics, because it's like, oh my, what? I don't know. I don't know where like some of these offers went. They just went all over the place. So massive L there from what happened from July 4th to where we are now. So yeah, disappointing. And if you've got any thoughts on the Cyber Weekend deals, put it in the comment section down below. Right now to the final story, which is arena predictions. All predictions will be down below at the moment. We're going to go over some results. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount being given for the results. So it does mean that I'm relying on some very kind people of the community who put some stuff in the Discord. So the RichTheMan Discord, link is in the description, and as well on Twitter. So we'll go over that. So yes, we'll go over the results. The two results that we have that we can go over currently. So for Abomination and How the Duck, not many people went for it. I don't know, maybe people weren't interested. And that's the thing. I don't know if it's the best champions to choose a grind for. So first of all, shout out to Hype. Hype put this in the Discord. And yeah, it's always good to put in arena results in the Discord. 35 mil, which does take it a little bit lower than my prediction of like last week. And that's the thing, you just don't know where this champion is going to go. So I think 45 mil for my prediction next week. Shout out to Hype for sending this through. And as well, shout out to DeGrim1. DeGrim1 sends through the 4-star featured version. But yeah, 669 other positions. I would say this does like put it down close to about 9 mil, maybe even like 9.5 mil at most. But yeah, I just don't think this is going to be very high. I think it's going to be incredibly low, kind of like Immortal Hulk. I don't know, I liked Immortal Abomination. I thought he was quite good. Unfortunately, there's a lot of hard work that needs to be done in order to keep up things like the acid wash. So yeah, I guess, or acid burn even, so that's something that's got to be thought about. And there we go, that's been Marvel Contest of Champions news for Monday. It may be a little bit longer than normal, but I think it was good to give some more time to the Cyber Weekend debacle, because it is a proper debacle of magnitudes of higher nature. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Make sure to check out some content recently posted up there. Watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, and we've got a lot of content dropping today and throughout the week, and a massive push for December. So yeah, lots of guides. I'm nearly done with writing the guides. I've now got to record them and edit them. So yeah, I'm pretty busy. So good luck, everybody. Thanks everybody for support. See you soon. Bye.